Hey guys, welcome back to the Sensor Pop channel. For this week, we're going to talk about the Singapore's regional, and so over the weekend there was a Singapore regional that's held in Singapore. So Singapore is the city, the country, so there is no states or there is no other little cities around it. So it's just Singapore, and what happened is that they have a regional around the region. I believe that some Filipinos actually traveled there to play against the players in Singapore. So the reason why I take so much attention when it comes to Singapore is because I actually learned a lot of my playing style and tricks from the Singaporeans who are living there. They helped me and guide me a lot because I was in Singapore for around 3 weeks in beginning of this year, and they were the ones who guide me and introduced me to the tourneys, especially the first few decks that I have. A lot of them actually make it for me, so really grateful to them. That's why Singapore is always under my radar. So the regionals in Singapore, and then there was the top 4 deck list is out, and I would like to take a look through the top 4 deck list. The reason why is because World Martial Arts Tournament is out. I want to take a look at which cards that they're using from the World Martial Arts Tournament, and also what are the top 4 after Super Saiyan 3 leader has been removed. So we are still under the conclusion, or we are still trying to derive at the conclusion that what is good for the meta, the inclusion of SS3 or removing him. So right now it seems that removing him seems like a good idea because the top 4 decks are very different. Different leaders, different playstyle, and each have their own representation on the field. So really excited bringing the laptop crashes, so I need to really check what happens to my MacBook. But let's go straight to the deck. So 4th place by this player called Lao Junwei. I know him personally, such a great player, and I learned a lot from him. So what is this deck? He's playing Universe 7 Golden Freezer. So this is the Tournament of Power deck. The win condition is the Victory Strike. The reason why Golden Freezer is used because it helps to filter out all these cards that are in your deck to get the cards that you want, and most importantly, very importantly, he does not have to swing for you to draw cards. So the whole idea of this deck is to keep your opponent at 8. So that is why it is so important for people to play cards that help you to self-awaken, especially those that draws 2, because that's what you want to do when you're playing against this type of cards. So for example, the reason why they want to keep you at 8 is because your universe, your super combos will not be active. So there are so many limited choices for you to counter against all this deck. So it has kind of an unfair win condition, but you have to play cards that help you to self-awaken against this deck, because this deck, they will not hit you. What you want to take a look at this deck also is that if he plays Objection, that means he needs quite some blue cards, because he needs at least 1 blue card. But since he plays Sensu Bean, so there's no worries for that, because Sensu Bean will dictate that it needs 1 blue. So he wants to get to the end game faster, and that's what he wants to do. And you could also see that he has a lot of yellow cards. The reason is because he's also playing Nimbus, so he needs to take the yellow card, and I believe that Bad Ring Laser is there to protect this guy from any Crushable or any Cold Blood loss, because all the sticks will be taken away. But if your player, the reason why he does not sideboard it, and you could say, hey, why don't he sideboard this deck? There are sideboards, but for Shenron's Lair, which is the thing that I'm using right now, I don't know how to do the sideboard. My apologies. I would definitely love to put the sideboard, because I got the list with the sideboards inside. So Crushable is in the sideboard, so most probably this might be out if he's playing against a deck that is very aggressive. But at any point of time, the deck you could use it to discard for Nimbus effect, right? So that's the whole thing. So most of the time he just wants to reach this, swing for it, and end the game right there. So you will not take his effect, because for some reason your leader is not green. This card, it's interesting because this is how you want to play it, right? You want to play this 5, and when you play this card, draw 1 card and choose up to 1 of energy and switch it to active mode. So you have 1 untapped energy, and choose 2 cards from your life and add it to your hand. This card gains 10k for the duration of turn. So this guy reaches 35k. This guy uses 1 energy, and if you untap that, you have that 1 more energy for you to place this card, or you could use Sensu Bean if your leader decides to attack that turn. So you want to do it in 1 turn, and because of this 10k that you get from this particular guy's effect, this guy swings at 55k and ultimate victory strike. You deal life damage by attacking with this card, you win the game. So, and this card attack and skills cannot be negated. So what I don't see on the board very much are cards that helps to take away blockers, especially now with this meta. A lot of blockers are on the deck, so I'm not sure how he decided to deal with blockers. Maybe this guy that he managed to tap 2 of them down, maybe that's that. So he has to kind of play this guy before he plays this guy and get up to here. So maybe that's how he works around it. Alright, that's my phone. Let's tweak this away. So this is it. This is the number 4th deck, and this is Victory Strike. So let's take a look at 3rd place. So which deck goes to the 3rd place? 3rd place is by this guy called Brandon Wu. I know this guy too. So Super Saiyan Gold Son Goku. So this is the guy that untaps the blue energy. The difference between him and Super Saiyan 3 is that Super Saiyan 3 untaps 3 of any energy. This guy, when he attacks, he untaps 2 of your blue energy. So only blue energy, so he's not a direct replacement, but kind of close. So he plays blue-green control. So how you want to play this deck is you want Vegito to be out, you want Combo Killer Anilaza to be out, and then you want Kami's power. So you get to pop 1 card from your opponent, and then you get to kill. You get to remove. You get to, when your opponent's combo, the opponent has to drop cards, and then they will have low hand size to deal with Vegito, because Vegito is on the board. They can't really deal with this. And Sensu Bean will help your Vegito to bring out. He has this guy, another super combo to bring this guy out, and then he has this guy to bring this guy out. So pretty deadly card, and this is there for you to swing and to draw cards. So this is it. Very potent, especially everything that he plays. It's rather low drops. And this guy could help to untap the green energy if required. As you can see, right, his defensive option a lot of times does not need any green card. So he needs 2 green minimum to bring this 2, but other than that, he does not need anything, because this guy does not untap the green energy for him. So that's kind of a good call for that. I do have a Zamasu deck that so instead of this leader, I played Unyielding Trunks, which is missing from this deck actually, if you take a look. So he doesn't play Unyielding Trunks to untap the 2 energy, that 1 energy, but he has this 2, that should be fine. Yep, so this is the deck profile. But my Zamasu deck, I played Sensu Bean, Unyielding Trunks to untap, and I also play green, but I don't play this 2. What I do, it's actually with the Hellis super combo that helps me to draw card. I would do a deck profile on that, and with Vegito that helps me to survive a turn, and then I just play Vegeta's surprise attack that stays on the board because it's for the duration of the turn. So Vegito, it's a 30k revenge if anybody wants to attack him, and he will be the only thing on the board that is tapped. So that's that. Alright, so this is deck number 2. As you can see, there are already diversity. So these 2 deck types are archetypes are very different, and so this is very interesting. 3rd place, congratulations, right? So let's talk about second place, Gavin Lee. So this is Hirudigan. Okay, this is the Hirudigan deck, very aggro, and yeah, that's basically it. It looks like a typical, I would not say typical, right? Typical is not a very nice way to say it, because when you are playing meta against meta, especially mirror matches, two things determine how you win. Number one, the way that you pilot the deck, and of course the luck of the draw, right? So he is able to get second with this deck. It is pretty deadly. This deck is very deadly. So he plays a Vegito, which is extremely difficult to deal with, and then foreseeing hit with burst attack San Gohan to help draw. Oh, this is a really painful deck to play against, with 3 Wiz Cohesion and 3 Videl that helps to negate, and then with 1 Legendary Flute to flute back his... oh, he doesn't, so most probably he can do that. So he can either flute back this to hit more, and this. So how this deck it's usually played in my of course we should ask the pilot himself, right, Gavin, but I don't have any contact with him unfortunately, so I would not be able to ask him how he will pilot the deck. But a lot of times it's you hit really hard, and then you untap your energy and hit again, and bring your opponent down to low life with Kappa and with this guy, and with your opponent, with your guy that's swinging. Then you Zeno reset the hands, because your opponent might have a long big hand, but your whole idea is to keep yourself high in life, and then you Zeno him, and then reset the whole hands, reset the board, and then to end him before he is able to get like very high. With inclusion of cards like that, you know that he knows what to do after Zeno, and then at turn 4 or 5 he will play this foreseeing hit just to take the 2 cards out from your hands and swing for the game. So he is prepared for the long game with Vegetos and stuff, but at the start what he wants to do is to take your life down as much as possible, Zeno, reset the board, and get ready for the mid game. So that's how he wants to do it. So this is not just aggro. He really wants to do it in such a way that he wants to go to the mid game. This deck is ready to go for the mid game, but expect very strong aggro at the start. First place. First place. Oh. I shouldn't have. Oh, Cell Chain. So first place winner, congratulations to Wong Po Un. And what he does, this is a Android 17 Cell Chain deck. So not just a typical Cell Chain, you could see something pretty interesting here. Alright, so of course we want to play newfound power San Gohan. It helps you to awaken yourself, especially if you're dealing with someone who's playing Victory Strike. That will come in very handy. And so he has the full Cell Chain. But what is interesting here is that he also put 2 Horn Move Yamcha. Pretty good card. World Martial Arts Tournament, critical for 3 energy, 15k. Also, when you play this card, you may choose 1 card from your life, add it to your hand. If you do so, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hands and places it in your drop area. So it helps with the mechanics, right? So helps to bring down your opponent's life, your opponent's hand size by increasing your hand size at the same time. So with this guy, this deck is so hard to play. What is interesting here is his choice. He chose to play 2 of Twin Sister Android. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Android 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Android 17. For those people who are new to this game, why am I counting the number of Androids? It's because you need 17 and 18 in your hands before you can pull off the Cell Chain. The Cell Chain needs, this guy needs the 17. When he absorbs it, if you watch the anime, he becomes this guy, and then he absorbs 18 to get into this guy. So you need them in your hands. What I want to know is, why isn't he playing? Why does he? Okay, for this, when this card attacks, you may place 1 card from your hands in drop area. If you do so, choose up to 1 Android 17 in your battle area and switch it to active mode. So most probably he might want to switch this to active mode, or one of the scariest one is this guy's active mode, because a 20k critical for 2 costs, that's a lot of shit to do with. Yeah. So that's that, and of course the new Dark Temptation Toa. When you play this card using Overwhelm, when your leader is green or yellow, choose one of your leader's card and gains 5k for the duration of turn. When your opponent chooses one card and place it in their drop area. Really, really good card. A better mirror, because the cost and everything is the same. 2 speedy attack, surprise attack. You get to pop one of your opponent's card. Maybe he wants to go for blocker or something which is menacing, and then 3 of the full power energy, one of the best negate for the game right now, because he gets to pop those very, very nasty 1-drop, especially things like Progenitor Bardock. So people who are playing yellow, playing against green, be careful, because this is what they're gonna have in their hands. Whether you're gonna swing or not, they will pop it. So don't play Progenitor Bardocks, swing with a leader, he's gonna negate, and then he's gonna pop in Progenitor Bardocks right there. Alright, so that's that. And so this is, oh, interesting, Vow Reputation Cell. So most probably when he wants a big hitter on the board and he wants to draw cards, and he doesn't want to bring out the big cell, there's no need for him to bring out the big cell, this is what he does. I'm not sure how good it is, he limits it to 1, so maybe he knows that it is not going to be that good. I would love to hear from him, but unfortunately I don't know this guy. When you play this card, if your leader card, it's an android, draw 2 cards and play to self junior token. Self token has 0 combo cost and 5. So the reason why he wants to do this, right, it's because if you play this, you get to absorb 1 of this from your hands, and then you can bring out this guy instead of this guy, just to draw the 2 cards and have that 2 cell junior token with 10k power and 0 combo cost. So you get more combo pieces on the board, you have more 10ks, and then you get to draw the 2 cards. So if your opponent starts to play their hands down and it doesn't make sense for you to play perfect 4 cell, you could do this to increase your hand size, and to, you know, the guy with the bigger hand size usually wins the game. So that's that. Alright, so that's the top 4 decks for the Singapore Regional. Thanks to Project EXT for sending out the deck list, for posting the deck list. So I hope that you can see that with what we see here is that with the SS3 gone, there is really a lot of diversity when it comes to the local scenes, right? So this is a regional, and congrats to all the winners, and then comment, subscribe to this channel. I'm really happy to be able to bring you this, and be happy to see that there is lots of diversity in the community right now in this card game. So thank you, and we hear from each other next time. Ciao, bye.